Which way forward? Should we concentrate so much on face masks, social distancing, stay at home, work from home, strict lockdown measures? As other people are saying, there's no need to abandon our jobs because these jobs bring food on a daily basis to our homes. Why should we be always imitating the first world countries, even when it's not making sense for us? These are the questions on the streets of Lusaka and many other urban towns in the country. On this week's episode, we look at the COVID crisis versus the economic crisis. According to BDO Global in Zambia, measures announced in April 2020 on the further measures to mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 on the Zambian economy. Tax relief was highlighted. The waiver of tax penalties and interest. The government has decided to waive tax penalties and interest on outstanding tax liabilities resulting from the impact of COVID-19. The suspension of customs duties and VAT on additional medical supplies used in the fight against the COVID-19. To alleviate the economic pressures associated with the COVID-19 induced liquidity challenges, and in particular, to prevent liquidity constraints to the financial institutions degenerating into a solvency problem. Government has already released 500 million kwacha to Public Service Pensions Fund to pay over 1,500 retirees or their beneficiaries, 170 million kwacha to banks to clear third-party arrears, and 140 million to various road contractors. Now, if this report is correct, we should be having 1,500 or more retirees settled and commercial banks assisted. The question, however, is accountability and criteria. The stakeholders should take keen interest to make sure that there are no backdoor deals in these released funds. The report further stated that the Treasury will now focus on completing the ongoing verification exercise, which will permit payment of 1 billion kwacha to various suppliers of goods and services to the government. The financial sector's liquidity challenges will further be ameliorated by tapping into the Bank of Zambia's 10 billion kwacha medium-term refinancing facility, which eligible commercial banks and non-bank financial institutions can access in order to restructure, refinance, or extend credit to businesses affected by the COVID-19 on more favorable terms. From this report, we clearly see the well-intentioned efforts which both the Bank of Zambia and the Ministry of Finance have to alleviate economic pressures associated with the COVID-19 induced liquidity challenges. Now, these are public resources in the form of cash. Therefore, we don't want to see even a percentage of corruption, greediness in the way these funds should be handled. We are tired of the same old habits of mishandlement of public funds, which originate with very good intentions. Our advice to government and departments responsible, like the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Auditor's Office, is to keep very wide-opened eyes and follow up on these funds. This includes Parliament. We emphasize on liquidity in the economy, and such good measures should bear fruit. In addition to these funds, through the USAID, the US government is providing more than $6 million United States dollars, which is roughly 108 million kwacha, to help prevent the spread of the COVID through promotion of educational materials via radio, television, and print media, and by strengthening laboratory and clinical systems to diagnose new cases and to treat those who get sick. This is according to the fact sheet of the US government's response to COVID-19 in Zambia as of 23rd April 2020. The question is, where did we see the use of this $6 million United States dollars in relation to what it was intended for? We have other financial needs in the Ministry of Health, where these funds could have been redirected. What really happened to these funds? Furthermore, in a press statement issued by Eric Mwanza, the First Secretary, Press and Public Relations Embassy of the Republic of Zambia in Washington, D.C., on Wednesday, 1st April 2020, stated that the United States is providing Zambia a 1.87 million United States dollars in immediate health assistance funding, which will augment government's interventions against the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the statement, the funding is a huge boost to the country's COVID-19 response and will scale up programs and projects in risk communication, water and sanitation, infection prevention and control, and public health messaging. Again, the question is, how was this amount utilized? A nation should be very responsible on how to use donor funds. With such funding, for example, every citizen was supposed to get at least 3 face masks, hand sanitizer, and enough dissemination of awareness messages. Interestingly enough, the IMF confirms no COVID-19 relief package for Zambia because of higher debt, as reported by Lusaka Times of May 22, 2020. The IMF Director of Communication, Gary Rice, confirmed that the Zambian authorities have requested emergency assistance from the international partners, including the fund, in addition to an earlier request from Zambia for fund support for their broader economic reform program. The balance between the COVID crisis and the economic crisis was supposed to be dealt with far much better than what has occurred. More liquidity was supposed to be channeled into the circular flow of funds. More money to support small and medium enterprises, support to small businesses that have shut down. The cry to reopen bars, nightclubs and schools was supposed to be looked at with an economic eye as well. We have lost more revenue, and again, this can be attributed to poor economic priorities and planning. The accountability on how to spend in economics is a very vital position. Nevertheless, the good news is that it is not too late for us to look into this mess and clean it up, because at the end of the day, Zambia needs deep transparency, reform, and economic